You have something most buyers in this country are actively looking for: lakefront property in the Ozarks at a price they can actually afford. But if you price it wrong, list it at the wrong time of year, or put it in front of the wrong buyer, none of that is going to matter. So let's fix that right now. And I want to be upfront about something before we get too far into it. Selling a lakefront home is not the same as selling a house somewhere else, Little Rock, Jonesboro, or another state, anywhere with a traditional buyer pool. The buyers who are coming to Cherokee Village are pretty specific. They're usually over 55, they're relocating maybe from the Midwest, Texas, maybe even one of the coasts. And they're doing months of research before they ever even call an agent. So they know what they want and know that they won't tolerate certain things. That means you have one chance to make that first impression up front. So if you price it wrong, you put it in the wrong seasonal window, or let the wrong details stop a buyer in their tracks, you could be relisting at a lower price 6 months or a year from now. So you're really wondering where things went sideways. So I have been representing sellers in this market for years. I'm going on 17 years this year. And I'm gonna walk you through 3 things that can separate a clean, confident sale from a frustrating, drawn out one. So let's get honest about actually what matters here in Cherokee Village. The first things most sellers get wrong is how they think about price. You pull up Zillow, you're going to see how much Zillow says your house is worth, and then you're going to look for houses that have recently sold. Bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, that's what you're probably going to look at, and then price your house accordingly. That makes sense in most markets, but it doesn't fully apply here with lakefront homes in Cherokee Village. They're more based on pricing for water access, not just the size of the home. And there's different levels of water access, and depending on if you have a private dock, how easy is the access to the lake, how flat is the lot, how easy is it to walk down to the water. So it kind of demands a different number than a home that is lakefront, but it has a steep slope, maybe even steps down to the dock with limited dock potential, maybe doesn't even have a dock, or backs up to the cove that gets low or even dry in the dry months. Buyers in this market know that difference. They've been watching your lake on Google Maps and they see how the water goes up and down. They've gotten even on forums that talk about the lake levels. Some of them have already driven through the neighborhoods before they even call an agent. They want to get an idea of what the homes look like there. So if your price does not reflect your actual water access, not just your address, you're either leaving money on the table or pricing yourself out of consideration entirely. So I would rather have the conversation with you up front before you list it and have it on the market and sitting there and people not taking you up on showings or making offers. Now here's the other piece most sellers do not consider: your actual dock condition. If it's damaged, if it's aging, maybe the floats aren't too old and it's kind of outdated. Those are all going to things that are very important to a buyer. They want to be able to actually use the dock that's on the property. And a buyer most likely relocating is going to want to actually be able to have fun on the water and not have a dock problem to deal with right away after purchasing the home. So it will come up in their due diligence of getting inspections and things like that, and it will cost you either a price reduction or possibly a lost contract if you're not able to make those dock repairs that are needed. So it's important to get ahead of that and get those repairs and making it look great so they're ready to make an offer and enjoy their space as soon as they can. Let me tell you who is buying lakefront property here, because it changes everything about how you present your home. The buyer for your property is most likely in retirement or nearing retirement age, probably locating from the Midwest or other states around Arkansas, and they've been dreaming about retirement for years, as most of us do. They want water, they want peace, they want low cost of living, and they probably already watched 40 YouTube videos about Cherokee Village before they ever clicked on your listing, ever decided to even come to the area. So that buyer has one fear that overrides everything else: making the wrong decision on the biggest financial move of their retirement. So that fear makes them meticulous. They're not going to overlook the things that you think they might overlook. So what stops them cold? Deferred maintenance. That's a big thing, that they're going to see that you're not maintaining the home. A roof that looks like it's a few years left only, maybe a deck that is functional but showing its age, has a couple boards that are loose, maybe interior finishes that feel dated in the wrong ways. Anything that tells them this home has been loved less than they plan to love it. So I'm not saying you need a full renovation before you sell, But I am saying that a couple $100 you spent power washing the dock, the deck, repainting the front door, and even getting a pre-listing inspection will save you thousands, maybe price reductions and more time on the market. These buyers are not looking for perfect, but they are looking for honest. So disclosure about anything you know about the property that you're not able to fix is definitely going to make a big difference, and price it accordingly. So you can say, well, I know this needs to be done, but we can't do it, so we're going to lower the price or give you a credit. Don't hide it and hope they won't find it, because even if they miss it, more than likely the inspector is, and you're going to have to do the repair anyway to get the closing done. So I would rather lose a listing than have a buyer that doesn't end up happy in the end and ends up suing somebody because it wasn't clear that there was a problem during the listing period. If you're finding this information useful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I put out honest, no sugar-coated real estate content for sellers and buyers in the Cherokee Village area specifically. Not generic tips, not big city agent advice repurposed for the Ozarks, just what actually works here. Now, the third thing sellers consistently underestimate is timing. And in a market like Cherokee Village, timing is not a minor detail. It is a major factor. Your buyer pool arrives here in the spring and early summer because that's when it starts to warm up and people start thinking about vacations. They're coming for long weekends, they're driving through neighborhoods, dreaming about where they can make a longer term commitment. They're picturing themselves on the dock in July. So if your home is not on the market between, say, March and July, you're probably missing the window when buyer motivation is the highest and the lake as it is most compelling. They want to be in it, they want to stay on it. So listing in October is not the end of the world, but you will wait longer probably for an offer, and you will show a smaller pool of people. So you'll likely have to hold it through winter all the way into spring when more buyers are going to show back up again. So if you're thinking about selling and you're watching this, say in the fall or the early winter, even though I'm posting it in the spring, the best idea is to start your preparations now so you can hit the market running in March or April. Here is something else nobody tells you: photos matter more in this market than almost any other, because they can see that spring picture all year round, even then if it's starting to cool off. Your buyer's making their first decision from a screen in that state, out of state, from the coast, because a lot of our buyers do buy sight unseen. Maybe not a lake house, but it does happen. They're walking the neighborhood, they're swiping through the photos, probably hoping for a video to get a better idea of what it actually looks like, since they can't come in person or are planning a trip to come when they are able to. So those lakefront photos taken in flat, winter light, with low water and bare trees do not sell the dream. But photos taken in May with full water, green trees, you know how green it gets here, it's just very beautiful, and the morning sun on the dock, that's going to stop someone scrolling and say, maybe I should be looking at Cherokee Village. So if you can only do one thing for you before you list, get the house cleaned up and ready, get those repairs done, and schedule a professional photographer during that peak water season. It will pay for itself in the end. So there you have it, the 3 things that separate a clean Cherokee Village lakefront sale from a frustrating one. Pricing based on water access, knowing your buyer, and timing the market right. If there's a specific piece of any of this information you want to go on deeper, the dock, the pre-listing, how to read your buyer, drop it in my comments below, or you can also direct message me. I read every comment. If you're getting closer to listing your home, check out this video where I walk you through the whole process from listing to the closing table. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.